One of my most memorable memories of caring for a palliative care patient was when I was a student paramedic going to a regional town in South Australia and being able to provide care to this person who had advanced dementia with their family there, and to be able to facilitate for that person to stay in their home.
Nancy was a woman in Central Australia years ago who inspired me to come into palliative care. She was crafting until the very day that she died.
Jim was a patient I looked after as an intensive care nurse for several months, and wishing that I'd kind of integrated with palliative care earlier at his request, and he was the reason that I went into palliative care from intensive care nursing.
Probably the last person that I cared for was not face-to-face but via Zoom during COVID, and this was my grandmother-in-law who was in an aged care home and died in that home during COVID, not of COVID, but so caring for her remotely via Zoom meant a very different way of behaving and talking to someone that we all had to learn very quickly during that time, but nevertheless still the ability to care and still able to care in a beautiful way.
I've been talking about this lady a lot lately, so it was right at the beginning of my career. This lady was a Greek lady, and it was very important to her that she didn't die with her roots showing. So the nurse I was with said, get the dye, we'll come back on Thursday, we'll dye your roots, dye mum's roots. And we did that, and I walked away thinking, oh, is that nursing? And then I thought, nah, years later I've thought, actually, that was providing for her spiritual care needs.
I have to think maybe back into my very, very early nursing days. I was in Middlemore Hospital doing a little bit of student work, and I looked after an old kuia, and having that Māori connection. We talked about whānau and where I came from, where she came from, her family, those sort of things. That was aside from the nursing, and I think that's what really makes a difference, those connections, that we see each other, not just an illness, we see the person.
Oh my gosh, look at me, I've been doing this work for a long time and I retired last year, but I remember many people that I've looked after, and I think probably one was a woman called Samara who we sent back to Lebanon, across state borders, country borders. She was very ill. We had a volunteer nurse go with her. We sent her with 3 months' supply of opioids. We were worried that she would be arrested in Beirut. This was 15 years ago, but we did it, and she got to die in her country of choice. And in fact was leaving an abusive relationship to do that. So she would have to be my standout.